Hi everyone, and welcome to the Daily Scopes for the 8th of November. Now, the 8th of November, we've got a total full moon lunar eclipse, which is also known as blood moon. Lunar eclipses are, and it's also the beaver moon as well, so there's a lot going on the 8th. So the lunar eclipse happens at 11:59 on the 8th of November. Eclipses are excellent periods to set new or break existing thought, behaviour, relating patterns, starting and ending things. Eclipses are known to speed up growth. The lunar eclipse that happens on the 8th of November will be the last total lunar eclipse in 3 years. The next one won't be till 2025. However, in the meantime, there'll still be partial lunar eclipses and preamble lunar eclipses as well. So yeah, as I said, the November moon, total lunar eclipse, is also known as the blood moon. This is because when the moon and the sun meet and the earth blocks out the light, you can see red tints, sometimes total red in the moon, and that's why it's called the blood moon. So yeah. So because a blood moon needs a total lunar eclipse and a full moon to happen at the same time, they're seen as more powerful. But it's best to wait before you rush to start and try new things, but making a plan to start them won't hurt. And if you feel genuinely ready and have the willpower to follow through in your intentions, starting and work towards your goals under the total full moon eclipse can be powerful. So yeah, the total lunar eclipse takes place when the moon is in Aries, in the constellation of Aries, and some people will have a spiritual or emotional need to gain more freedom and independence and take on new challenges at this time. Some of you may take time out from other people, even those you are usually close to, which can cause tension. So it's best to explain, even though you may not want to explain yourself. Just say, I need some time out, and if they insist on you being with them, then maybe you just ghost them, sorry. But it's better to at least warn them rather than say nothing. At this time, as well as the time of the full beaver moon, people can be more selfish and impatient and want to go after what they want despite others' wishes. And the total full moon, blood moon eclipse, I can't even say it, but yeah, it's really powerful because it can reveal the ways that you and others have been stopping yourselves from moving forward. So, this can give you good insight into your motivations and help you uncover your emotional and psychological spiritual blockages and help you understand them, and you can make plans to heal them and move on from them. The beaver moon is a time when the beavers take shelter in self-made cottages, storing the food for the long winter. Also, in past times, it's a time when people used to trap animals to make winter fairs and stuff to keep them warm in the times before, electricity and heating in the homes and stuff like that. So yeah, the beaver moon provides us to prepare all we need for the coming winter months. And so we can just be prepared for every eventuality, in the best ways that we can, because, we're going through the cost of living crisis in the UK and across the world, so it may be hard to do that. But do your best to make a plan to make sure that you can do your best to survive through the winter, not to be morbid, just saying. So as you know, the full moon also happens at 2 minutes past 12 on the 8th, so we've got the total lunar eclipse that says that at 11:59am, and then at 12:02 PM, just after midday, the moon enters the full moon, its tightest conjunction of the full moon phase. Full moons are all about, getting things finished, and thinking about the projects that you need to finish and plan steps to overcome obstacles, explore your emotions, your own words and actions and those of others to get clarity in situations. Again, this total lunar eclipse energy in the full moon is all about letting go of relationships. Some of you may start or continue the work of dealing with any addictions and other self-destructive habits or thoughts that stop you from, living an authentic life. Negatively, the full moon can make us all act irrationally and be quick to anger, so just watch out of that because of the tension that happens between your conscious, rational, logical mind and actions and your subconscious, addiction-driven and unhealed trauma-driven reactions and words. So this can lead to people being in a fragile emotional, psychological state. Negatively, full moons can bring showing off behaviour, egotistical behaviour, overconfidence, and excessive spending, socialising, drinking and drug taking, which can, some of you may feel like I'm flying, mate, as we say in England. I'm off my head. Sorry, I'm in one of these moods this week. So yeah, and be like, yeah, I'm up for it. And then you may just crash and burn at a later date because you just taken too much, spent too much, drink too much, take too much intoxicating substances. So just watch out for that. Also watch out for scams and read the small print and try not to get dodgy payday loans. And I know some of us can't avoid them, but at least look for the best terms and watch out for anything to do with money at this time. In ancient times, the full moon was said to cause issues with digestion, so it is best to watch what you eat and drink at this time. But hey, it's your life. You can also experience trouble with your own inner child and children at this time, as your inner child may, or real children may, demand or need special attention at this time. So at the time of the full moon, we have a few oppositions, so quincunx and some trines. So I'm just going to go through them. So the oppositions at the time of the full moon lunar eclipse, the moon opposes Mercury, which can make it hard for some of you to make decisions. So there can be a tug of war conflict between your head and your heart, which increases self-doubt. Just take time out to be gentle with yourself, weighing up the pros and cons of your options may quieten the confusion. Some of you may feel stuck because this full moon energy is wanting you to let go and move forward, and it's pushing you to do that, but you will experience conflict. So just be gentle, just write things down and do as much as you can, and do not stress yourself out too much, although this is easier said than done, right? Venus also forms an opposition to the moon, which further adds to the tension and inner battle between your head and heart at this time, and a battle between meeting your own needs and living up to social and professional expectations and stuff. Social situations and situations at work can become uncomfortable right now, and finding a compromise can be challenging in all forms of relationships. Uranus also opposes the Sun, Mercury and Venus at the time of this full moon lunar eclipse, which adds to the chaos and brings unpredictability, but allows for spontaneous, creative and weird words and actions. But these things can also cause setbacks where people just, they were meant to meet up with you and just cancel plans last minute. People can also fall in and out of love quickly, and 1 minute really attractive, next minute really repulsed by this person. A lot of relationship instability can happen, and there can be trouble with authority and understanding other people's opinions. The best use of this energy is to focus on coming up with new ideas and solutions to your problems, and continue to start medical, scientific, technological and occult innovations. Also, there are quite a few squares. So on November the 8th, Saturn makes a square to the Moon, Sun, Venus and Mercury, which adds to emotional insecurity and dissatisfaction. Self-esteem issues can cause low moods. Writing down positive things about yourself can help nurture yourself and, get back to your centre and not put yourself or pressure yourself too much. Watch one of your favourite shows or listen to some music. Anything that can help you safely feel more relaxed and more confident within yourself is good to do right now. Again, another aspect that backs up that there'll be trouble communicating with each other during this time. And there can just be a lot of fear over confronting people, and that's why you may hold back, or some of you may not fear, you may just be like, I want to have it out now, and this itself can cause problems. And the ongoing square that's been happening most of this year between Saturn and Uranus adds to this, people taking their emotions out on others because they're feeling inadequate, or they're abusing their power, or they're manipulating people to get what they want. So yeah, the Sun square Saturn allows for emotional reservedness, keeping your cool when challenged. This is a good square, this is a good energy, which can reduce conflict and bring positive feedback in your career or in your intimate or social situations. Although it may be hard at this time, you may want to run away from confrontation. Try and stick it out unless discussions become heated. Then it's best to walk away or try other methods of communication. So if you normally talk face to face, maybe trying voice notes or texts or emails may be best. Or if you normally speak through emails, maybe meeting face to face can reduce any conflict in any relationships you're going through right now. Mars also makes a quincunx to Pluto, which again adds to the impulsive reactions of the day, dominant behaviour and words, and people going to extremes to get what they want. This is a powerful energy, and it can support your efforts of transformation and change, and this is what lunar eclipses and full moons, call us to do, is to let go of the old to allow the new to come in. Some of you can really just be like, I'm going to end all my self-destructive habits right now and do your best to live a more productive life, but just watch out for rushing ahead. Just take it slowly. It's best to write down rather than start everything now, get rid of everything you want to get rid of, and then wake up in the morning and be like, I moved too fast. So just, although you may want to rush, just take it slow. Also, there's a couple of sextiles that help balance out all this harsh energy of the lunar eclipse. So Jupiter makes a sextile to Pluto, and this supports hard work towards expanding your skills and knowledge base, and supplies the energy to keep on making progress and to keep on going on despite your obstacles. Just having a more optimistic outlook, even though life can be crap right now. You may just think, I'm just going to chill out and do the best that I can. And despite all obstacles, all sorts of occult, astrological, mystical study and exploration are supported by the energy of Jupiter making a sextile to Pluto. Also, we've got a couple of conjunctions. The Sun conjuncts Mercury and Venus, and this supports any attempt at effective and loving communication and listening, and providing willpower to conquer obstacles and increase concentration is given by these conjunctions to Sun and Mercury and Venus. So it supports some kind of inventive solutions to your problems and projects, independent thought and acting, and appreciating the unknown and the things that you do know and the new as well. Actively going out of your way to do weird things and break free from conformity, getting out of your comfort zone. Negatively, people can become passionate about their ideas and uninterested in others, so just watch out of that. And it can also be restlessness, but Sun's conjunction to Venus increases our creativity and brings gentleness, charm and harmony, so allowing for cooperation and enjoying each other's company and appreciating beauty and art. At the time of the new moon, Saturn is also finishing its trine to Mars, so this is helping us, giving us the ability to increase our self-discipline and to trust our gut feelings and intuitive thoughts. It can help us with problem solving and feeling more connected with our relationships. Some of you may deepen your current relationships by going through those confrontations or being empathetic or whatever, and this can make you feel more good within yourself and within your relationships right now. Neptune also makes a trine to the Sun, Mercury and Venus. So again, this is good for writers, content creators, and helping you be more sensitive and imaginative in general. So yeah, those are the aspects for this week's total lunar blood moon, beaver moon eclipse. So much to say, but yeah. And at the time of the beaver blood full moon, Libra and Aries, Mars, Pluto, Cardinal and fire energy are the strongest. So there'll be a lot of forces trying to move you forward right now. And on the other hand, people's wishes, fears and the need to be in their comfort zone and cooperate and will struggle and be in battle with each other. The gift of affection, compromise and self-resilience, efficiency, quick thinking, open-mindedness and the thirst for new ideas and experiences are given. But again, another warning that not to rush, to take it slow, even though you will want to start a lot of new things, but if you do this, you may not complete them and then you just waste your time. At the time of the new moon, the Sun and Mercury at the 22nd degrees of Libra. The tagline for this Sabian degree is a child giving water to the birds at the fountain, which supports that some of you will go through some sort of intellectual, spiritual or emotional awakening at the core level. You won't be able to necessarily explain this inner shift. You won't be able to say, well, this happened and that happened and now I just want to change my life. It would be more of an internal inner feeling that will want you to change your life in some big way. But remember, all ideas must be acted upon to make them a reality. Thought alone won't bring about changes, but faith and hard work will. Some of you may decide to teach or share your experiences with others. A total change of career is possible. Some of you may decide to give up on materialism, being overly materialistic and possessive and greedy and excessive, for a simpler and more effective lifestyle. And others of you will decide to pay more attention to your health of your mind, body or soul, vowing to protect yourself against toxicity in thought, relating and acting, because you know it's the only way to consciously evolve into your highest potential. This is good for people who may have been on their spiritual path for a while or starting to do things for a long time but have only been given it, half measures. We're all guilty of that. Me, myself, I'm guilty of that. And you may just decide to go all in, put your chips down on the table, as they say, and commit totally to your new way of life right now. Venus is on the 27th degree of Libra, and the tagline of this symbol is the aeroplane sails high in the clear sky. So the planetary energies, although sending some darkness our way right now on the individual and global levels, is giving us a chance to rise above it all and take a new perspective on your past and current experiences, allowing yourself to free yourself of any chains of conformity and letting other people's opinions dictate the destination of your life. You may decide to just do what you need to do and live your life for you. And although people may call you selfish, but you won't be necessarily doing this from a selfish perspective. It will be to some of you may begin to see your place in the greater whole, and not forgetting the bullcrap, not denying the hurt and pain and suffering life has thrown your way, but accepting that you can no longer be a prisoner of the same loop of negative thoughts, relationships and other things that consistently happen in your life. And you may just decide to give up all destructive and self-destroying habits and relationships, transcending your limitations not by denying them but by refusing to allow your past and your limitations to continue to define who you are and who you will become, allowing yourself to be uplifted and devoted to creating a new experience in life which promotes and enforces self-understanding, love, forgiveness, nurturing, healing, compassion, empathy and acceptance. The Moon and Uranus are in the Libra's 22nd and 23rd Sabian degrees. So the taglines for these Sabian degrees are the gates to the garden of desire and a pregnant person in pastel colours carrying a valuable but veiled load. So the 22nd symbol of Aries suggests that cooperation with your inner needs and the authentic needs of the world and its people will bring more fulfillment right now. Happiness wants to come into your life. Although the path it can be rocky, hard and painful, if you try to let some positivity in, even if it's just a little bit, you will slowly overcome your gloom and anxiousness. Holding your nerve and pushing yourself forward right now as you lovingly and steadily assert yourself to success may be the best thing that you ever do in your life. The 23rd degree promises a feeling of inner contentment, even if things are not exactly how you want them. So there's a lot of things, this total full moon lunar eclipse, that suggests that some of you may come to a realization that this perfect life you've been trying to work for, whether you've been actively involved in self-help or meditation, yoga or anything else on the spiritual higher consciousness awakening, you will realize that life will always bring you lemons, down times. There's no escaping that. But what this sort of inner training and spiritualism and opening yourself up emotionally and getting in touch with your doing therapy and things like that is all about you becoming more comfortable and knowing that these ups and downs are just the normal occurrence of life, and that in order to achieve your goals you are going to have to start to work with them. So yeah, the 23rd degree of Aries promises this, this inner realization and giving you the hope to change your life, universally giving the promise that some of you will in time begin to see the fruits of your labours, the rewards of your hard work, of allowing yourself to grow and letting your feminine and masculine energies combine will produce the primary expression of the inner child, where you look again at life with fresh eyes, committing not to let your past, especially the words and actions of others, control your personality expression. Rebirth can be experienced even while experiencing the pain with courage and determination. So yeah, that's the full moon total eclipse of the 8th of November. So yeah, make sure you gather what you need, the inner emotional reserves, financial things as much as you can, and just do all you can to try and make yourself as comfortable as you can over the winter period. Also on the 8th of November, the moon starts It's for the course at 10 to 8:50 GMT time. And so, yeah, just want to know that. So yeah, I just want to talk a little bit more about the Sun conjunct Mercury, because this is the most strongest influence on this day, even though the other orbs are within 1 to 7, some of them are 8 degrees, so they have some influence, but this Sun conjunct Mercury is making this tight conjunction today and is the biggest influence. So as I said, it increases mental activities and it's a perfect time to take care of all paperwork and communication issues, and it's going to increase all forms of socialization and communication, people going on dates, flirting, hookups and spending time with those they know locally or with family. It gives the chance to use logic to overcome problems, which is good, and allowing you to show psychological, spiritual, intellectual strength and persuasive writing and talking, and allowing for you to use mind over matter, meaning using positive thinking and directing your thoughts to control your consciousness, and also using actions. Your mind may say, no, don't do this, you can't do this, but you take the actions and you ignore that voice in your mind. People can be more supportive of other ideas and helping each other to reach goals. So as I said, it is, even though there's a lot of dangerous energy, to have those difficult discussions, and if you can't say it, write it or voice record it and send it and stuff like that. Don't be a coward or anything about it, but sometimes it's best to take that distance approach, and it gives the power to, on the individual level, to not give a crap and be confident in saying your ideas regardless of the consequences, which can have positive and negative things, but if you need to assert yourself and stand up for yourself, it really helps you. Also, people can be stubborn in their opinions and thinking their way is the right, and showing off and thinking they're better than others and talking crap about others, and this can really dampen the day. But just like I said, try and walk away from any conflict, and remember, sometimes it's better out than in, even though sometimes we have to wade through those difficult circumstances of letting out of emotions. And it's perfectly a good time to talk about these challenges, issues really, and making decisions about your business or committed relationships, although it may not go exactly as you planned. So that's the warning. So yeah, a lot today. Thanks for listening to this. Take care, and I shall see you tomorrow.